The year was 2020. India was under a strict nationwide COVID-19 lockdown, where curfew hours were enforced with absolute rigidity. In the town of Sathankulam, a father and son, Jayraj and Benix, were closing up their mobile phone shop for the night. They kept their doors open just 15 minutes past the official curfew. Local police arrested both men for that 15-minute infraction. Neither Jayraj nor Benix had any prior criminal record. It was a minor administrative delay, but it was about to trigger a lethal and catastrophic abuse of state power. Inside the police station, beginning at 7:45 p.m. on June 19th, the two men endured 7 hours of relentless physical torture. The brutality was extreme. The victims were stripped and beaten so severely they suffered massive rectal bleeding, requiring 6 changes of clothing throughout the night. On June 20th, the institutional safety net failed completely. Despite their visible and catastrophic injuries, complicit medical staff examined the men and declared them medically fit for further remand. The internal trauma was unsustainable. Benix died on June 22nd. His father, Jayraj, died hours later, on the morning of the 23rd. Doctors would later discover that the physical abuse had been so severe it actually caused Jayraj's lungs to rupture. This wasn't just a failure of individual officers, it was a total collapse of the system. From the station house to the medical clinic, every safeguard designed to protect citizens was ignored. As news of the deaths leaked out, social media acted as an accelerant, broadcasting the details of the station house torture far beyond the town of Sathankulam. Public outrage reached a boiling point, and massive street protests erupted across the region. These protests were defined by a rare characteristic: they remained apolitical. Citizens actively refused to let political parties co-opt the movement, keeping the focus entirely on the demand for justice. In this case, when local institutions worked to protect their own, it was this persistent, non-partisan public pressure that forced the state to act. The scale of the public mobilization left the state government with little choice. They were forced to escalate the investigation, moving it out of the hands of local authorities. The case was transferred to the Central Bureau of Investigation, or CBI, ensuring federal oversight for a crime committed by local police. The CBI probe led to immediate, concrete results. Formal criminal charges were filed against 10 police officers involved in the torture, one of whom later died of COVID-19. Public pressure had successfully broken the local cycle of protection, forcing the case into the higher federal system. The judicial climax arrived in March 2026, when a special court in Madurai found all 9 remaining police personnel guilty of their roles in the deaths. On April 6, 2026, the court delivered an unprecedented sentence, the death penalty for all 9 officers involved. The court also mandated a collective financial restitution of 1.40 crore rupees to be paid directly by the convicted officers to the family of Jayraj and Benix. Judge G. Muthukumaran emphasized that the severity of the sentence matched the breach of trust. He noted that the victims had no criminal records, yet they were tortured by the very people sworn to uphold the law. Ultimately, this verdict shows that even when a local system fails, a sustained and unified demand for accountability can force the state to purge its most violent elements and restore the rule of law.